Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this week's episode of Matt and Rob Talk About F1. I'm Rob, and with me today is...
Matt.
Hey,
Simple
it's Matt again.
No
After we
jokes
had
today,
George-
no jokes.
George last week, and a bit of Matt's incredible stand-up comedy a couple of weeks before that. Today we're back to normal. We're doing a quick review, of the 2021...
2020. Oh my god, you're back to the 2021.
I said it again!
Oh my god.
I'm so done with 2020. I'm looking forward to 2021 so much that
You had a couple of week breaks with the 2021, but you're back at it again. When I stop joking around, you just come back to
I know.
the 2020.
As soon as I try to be a bit more serious about it, it's like
You just
what
mess
we're
it
doing?
up, man.
Yeah, right. Well, Matt, tell us what we're doing today.
Well, we're reviewing the 2020 Mugello Grand Prix, well, the Tuscany Grand Prix, really, which is a first, really, in Formula One. So, never heard before, never seen before. And, the 1000th anniversary for Ferrari, a very special race for Ferrari. Was a challenging year for them. It was a
It has been
very
Definitely
exciting
has
Grand
been.
Prix, that everyone was waiting for. The first time, really, that I've seen a new track, for the F1 calendar. It was really exciting to see what can happen with the recent F1 cars and brand new track. Well, not brand new, but a track that no driver has seen before, and almost no one, I think, on the grid has driven at before.
So that's what we're doing exactly. It was incredible to see a first new sort of track for quite a long time, and it wasn't, like you said, it isn't a new track by any means at all. It's actually quite an old sort of circuit, and Ferrari's owned it for a good couple of years now. So they do a lot of their testing there and things like that, but it doesn't it doesn't give them any advantages, especially with their current car and everything like that. It just really didn't help them at all. Shall we jump in straight to the qualifying, Matt?
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, our qualifying predictions from last time, I'll just bring them up.
Go for
I
it.
said Hamilton, Sainz, Perez.
Very accurate.
And you said Hamilton, Bottas, Norris.
Good guess.
Very good guess. Very good guess. And we ended up with a Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen for the top three.
Well, nothing close to what.
Nothing close to what I said. I
Yeah.
think you had at least 2 out of 3, so that's pretty decent. But yeah, it was. Yeah, go on.
We were expecting a bit more than we were very excited by Monza, and we thought that Formula One just changed overnight, and
Yeah,
but sadly it hasn't. Well, sadly, I think the who belongs on the top 3 came back in the top 3, and it's always the same 3 guys, and it had to come back at some point, and sadly it didn't wait for us to leave Italy to come back. They just it was 1 week off, then they come back straight away.
yeah. It was. I mean, obviously, it was good for Red Bull to see that they're back on.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, best of the rest sort of thing. They're back on their pace, and both drivers actually performing pretty well this weekend, which was really good to see for Albon, because Max is the clear number 1 at Red Bull, and Albon, especially with Gasly's recent performance. There were a couple of people talking, should he give this place back or whatnot. And for him, it was good to get that proper good qualifying performance in there. What do you think to his performance?
Albon or Gasly?
Albon.
I think it was back to his. I don't think it was anything crazy. I think it was like usual, like he was doing before, like a couple of tenths of Verstappen. It was nothing, not really close. Maybe a bit closer, but nothing really impressive. Almost challenging him. It was really it was there to be 4th, but it was nothing close to be challenging Verstappen for 3rd. So, but it was decent. I mean, it needed to be 4th. I mean, you can't be any. You couldn't afford to be any any further. So.
Yeah,
job,
exactly. So I guess you're right. I mean, I'm happy that he had that solid performance, but you're correct. He's not a threat to Verstappen, at all.
No.
I think what was it 4/10 difference at the end, which is still quite a good chunk.
It's a bit, yeah.
Between the two drivers in the same car, effectively. So, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, right? Like, because so the qualifying, it's kind of a weird one for me because we can talk loads about the qualifying, but it really doesn't matter, because of the race, the way the race was.
The only really real thing about Gasly,
yeah,
out in Q1, like that was
Gasly out in Q1. Like what a like we said, or like you said, we were hoping Formula One had changed. And
yes.
there were new people at the top, and
It
but
quickly reminded us that very big highs and very low.
back to reality there for Gasly. Unfortunately,
a great little fact is that 24 years ago, when Olivier Panis, the last French racing driver, won for France in Monaco, the race after, I think he was, I can't remember really, but I think it maybe like Spa or something, and then he went out in Q1. So exact same thing really, like the history is repeating itself. So hey, Gasly couldn't do anything. He had to win and then go out in Q1. That was
the curse of the French win.
It's the French win curse.
That's what that is. Do you reckon you'll have to wait another 24 years to get another French win?
I hope not. If you can win like every 2 weeks and then go out in Q1, then it's fine.
Yeah, it would be difficult for him to win twice in a row if he goes on in Q1 the next race. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of Gasly. It was a shame this time around, absolutely, that him and his car just weren't sort of.
I mean, the whole weekend just went from bad to worse, I guess. So.
Yeah, exactly. I think we should probably just quickly get through the qualifying.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, it was good to see that Red Bull was strong again. They're where they should be really. Renault looked pretty decent as well to me.
Yeah. Sure.
Especially Ricciardo, because I mean, Ocon had that pretty big off in Q3, which meant that some people couldn't improve, which sort of helped some people and didn't help others. I think Ricciardo actually had a bit more time left. I think he actually did a better time in Q2 that he was able to do in Q3. So he could have been like, I think P5, which would have been great.
Yeah.
But P5 this time around went to Charles Leclerc.
Amazing. What a lap. Like, that was insane. Like, who would have expected him to be P5?
Yeah, like, that was really good. But I think, like I said, like, probably because some other people couldn't improve. But,
yeah, probably.
He did the lap. And we saw it last weekend where there was just a huge chaos of, like, who goes out when and what's happening. And then people just can't go. It's the same thing, if you don't get your time in, there's a good chance that at the end of the session, you won't be able to get a time in either because
it went right for him, and that's what matters, really.
Yeah, definitely. Shall we talk, because we were already talking about Charles? Shall we quickly talk about our Ferrari predictions?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had Leclerc in 12th and Vettel in 16th, and you had Leclerc in 14th and Vettel in 15th.
I mean, there was Ferrari in 14th, but
yeah.
It was Vettel, but then Charles just blew it out. Like, it was just like another dimension.
It is crazy. It is crazy to see how that he could get a P5 out of that car. And Vettel got a 14. I think he almost went out in Q1. It was pretty close. I think he was 15th in Q1. But yeah.
I mean, it's just like what's happening with Ferrari and Vettel? Who knows? Does he have the? Do they want to see him doing good? I'm not sure, but who knows?
Yeah. We were sort of messaging during the race, and you were telling me some Ferrari intel that maybe Charles' car's a bit better than Vettel's.
I mean, who knows? No. Maybe they're just putting a little extra effort, like to.
Yeah. A little extra effort for the 1000th Grand Prix. What did you think to their color scheme this time around? They had a darker sort of maroon red. Yeah.
I think it was alright. I don't know. It was not that insanely cool. I think it was cool. Not much more than that. What did you think?
I think it's cool to see the sort of the retro look. It was kind of weird because some bits were still I don't know, like the obviously the rest of the team and some bits were still like the old.
I think
red
it was
and
just the color, the retro. There was no anything retro than the color.
yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like
Which is a shame. I
colour
think
was sort of-
a real retro look would have been maybe cool. Like maybe transform, like ask the sponsors to modify the logo to put it a bit retro and have like a retro looking car. Maybe like dress as Mercedes did for for Germany last year.
Yeah, that was actually quite cool where they were all wearing like old school sort of.
Didn't end up
hats
being a
and
great weekend for them, but
No, it did.
I mean, it couldn't be worse for Ferrari anyway as a year overall. So they could just
Yeah, right.
have
Like
fun.
they might as well dress up, however they like.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make a huge difference as we get to see in the race because P5 was great for Charles, but
Yeah,
really didn't help him too much.
Yeah.
Any other standouts for you in?
No, but that was pretty much it. I mean, sadly Norris
Okay.
couldn't go to Q3, which was the surprise for me, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that was a shame as well that Norris didn't get through. It was quite an interesting interview with Daniel Kvyat. I don't know if you saw that because he had a pretty big off, I think, in Q2. He sort of pushed a bit harder, and he was.
Yeah.
We'll probably link it, but he was describing the size of his balls
Yes.
to, and that his car just couldn't handle it.
Couldn't
because he
handle
wanted-
it, yeah.
It just couldn't handle it. He wanted to go flat out through the corners, and the car just couldn't handle the size of his testes. So there's that.
It happens sometimes,
Yeah, it happens, but it was quite funny to see,
Some
people joking
Russian
always-
bravery,
Yeah, for sure, Russian bravery and courage. But yeah, that was it for the qualifying session.
Yes.
On to the race. We'll quickly do our race predictions.
Yes.
Do you wanna say yours?
Yeah, I'll say mine. What did I say? I said I had some great predictions, my friend. Hamilton, Norris, and Sainz, and I even said Gasly fourth, just for the extra little touch,
Yeah, Gasly fourth.
Hey,
that was
very
hoping.
accurate, like Norris. Yeah, for sure, like
Yeah.
whole lot of McLaren, a bit of Gasly in there,
Yeah, I did Hamilton, Paris, Sainz. I mean, we got Hamilton right again.
I mean, that was you expect the ham to be on top, and then
Yeah,
you put the extra.
You always want-
extra
If you're
stuff
making
on.
it, if you're making a bit of bread, hammer's on top, and then anything.
Always ham on top, and then you put all the rest.
Yeah, cheese on top. No. Ham on top. Ham on top. Whatever you do, That's a good idea. Actually, maybe we should do another. Or should
You
do
should
cooking
do a
episode.
sandwich and be like, ham on top, ham on the top.
Ham sandwich. Right. Our Ferrari predictions were equally, actually a bit more, were a bit better, I think, even. I went for Vettel 11th and Leclerc 13th. What did you say?
I said that Leclerc was not gonna finish the race, and Vettel would be 15th.
But to be honest, I mean, it was Leclerc 8th and Vettel 10th. But to be honest,
There was not a lot of cars behind them.
no, exactly. And they did really well, to finish at all. Like a DNF was fairly likely in this race. So yeah, on to the race.
Let's go into it. Yeah,
I mean,
it was a wild beginning of the race. Like the first 10 laps was.
it was
happened.
wild. Yeah, it was. There's some stuff that happened that hasn't happened in probably decades, as far as I'm aware. Not even the last couple of seasons in terms of.
I think it was quite a
things.
few years. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. We'll go from the beginning. We had a nice, lovely. Actually, before it kicked off, because it's Ferrari 1000 Grand Prix, they did the national anthem, and they do the national anthem for every Grand Prix, and they position the drivers in sort of a semicircle, and then the sort of the singer, whoever it is at the front. For this one, because it's Ferrari, they put everyone in a semicircle, and then Charles and Vettel like opposite each other, which just looked. I don't know. I thought it was absolutely hilarious because it looked like they're either going to fight or start dancing, or I don't know. It's just, and I think it was Vettel who then, like, instead of looking straight, just sort of turned it a little bit and just was like, we should stand like this. Maybe this is better. Yeah, but I do love it. When teams and Formula One tries something new, so it's always fun.
For sure, yeah. I think it was very hot too, so it was going to be a tough race after.
Yeah, no rain predicted as far as I'm aware.
No, it was very, very, very sunny and very hot. I think I can't remember. It was going to be
very sunny, very hot, and a lot of G-force.
Yes, so very, very tough on physically for the drivers here.
Yeah. I think 59 laps. I think was the race distance.
Yeah,
and they get up to 5G through some of the corners.
And 4Gs quite a few times, So.
Yeah, and 4G's, 4G even more so, like more often. But yeah, so just to the beginning of the race, again, I've forgotten it. Again, before the beginning of the race, on the grid. Did you see that? You must have seen.
I don't know what happened.
It was another one of those where
Verstappen. Oh yeah, Verstappen. Yeah.
Mechanics at
Everywhere,
his car.
Yeah.
Trying to fix the car. It was like, sort of becoming routine now. It's like, how late can we leave this until we need to assemble the car fully? Yeah. Do you know what the issue was?
I think it was a software issue, like an engine software issue with the battery and stuff like that. Because we'll see we can speak about the start. I mean, race started. A good start from Bottas. Verstappen had a great start too, way better than Lewis. He was already like side by side, and then you can see it on the onboard with I don't know who was behind, and his engine went straight into after I think it was second gear, and when he tried to pull third, the engine went straight into a recovery mode. So it was like the light were blinking, and he just couldn't he was not going anywhere. The car was just accelerating but very slow compared to everyone else, so he just dropped back massively. And Bottas just managed to pass in front of Hamilton, and he just went straight to the back. He was.
That was cool to see. I mean, I really like to see that Bottas. Not Verstappen, but Bottas.
I mean, also, let's be fair. I mean, it was not a battle. That's what I was thinking too. It was people were saying, "Oh, he's feisty." I didn't see any feistiness in Bottas. He had a good start and went in front of Hamilton. He didn't fight.
Yeah, but he had a good start though. That's
that's cool. That's
beats
cool
a lot
for sure.
Do you know what I mean?
It's good. But with no spoilers really. But there was 3 starts and he had 1 good start on 3. So at the end of the day, it's like.
But he had one. He had 1 good start.
But again, there was no fighting. That's what I mean. It's it wasn't. It wasn't it's never easy, but it was an easy way to pass Hamilton, for him.
Yeah.
I think if he was getting closer to actual fighting and wheel to wheel, I don't know if he would have passed him. That's
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it looked like a pretty sort of straight overtake, just on speed, and he got the car.
Because probably Verstappen could have passed him, Hamilton too.
I think so too. And Verstappen was really, really angry about it on the radio. He was swearing quite a bit.
Straight away on the radio, yeah.
Yeah, straight away, because it's you want to go and then everyone else goes and you're foot's flat down and you're not going anywhere. So it's interesting to see that he managed to sort of keep it in the first and second corner. He was he didn't give up, but he tried to keep going and driving.
It's tricky also to know where to put the car. Also, it's everyone is passing you from everywhere, and you're if I move left, maybe someone's gonna hit me, which happened really. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he ultimately got hit and went off in lap 1. They didn't even complete the lap.
He was a very there was I think first if you check the footage, it was first Sainz was fighting with Perez a racing point, and they touched a bit and he spun, and it was literally at the same time behind. Gasly was squeezed between Raikkonen and Grosjean, I think, and then he literally climbed on Raikkonen's car, and then Grosjean went in the gravel. They both Gasly and Raikkonen out, and then they collected Verstappen. And then
they collected the slower Verstappen that was still sort of in front of them.
Basically, the 3 of them were out of the race at this point, and
crazy that Kimmi's car was absolutely fine.
No, it was out.
What? No, Kimmi wasn't out. Kimi Räikkönen.
Oh no, he was not out.
No, he wasn't out. No. That's what I'm saying. I had to look that up as well. I was like, Kimmi? Huh? I thought he finished 9th.
It's like Grosjean too. The both cars. It was just Gasly that ended up not going anywhere, and then there was someone else, no? Or was it just the 2 cars?
Well, him Verstappen. The problem is I don't know who. So Gasly, Verstappen,
Vettel collected Sainz, but was not
Sainz.
like he was not a DNF. He just collected him
Yeah,
It's-
he broke his front wing on
Yeah, that's
Sainz's
it.
car, but
That's
I think
pretty much it. Yeah.
Sainz kept going. So it was just the two of them then.
Apparently, I thought it was more, but apparently it was only 2. So yeah.
Again, it is if that's the only thing. Usually, it's a bit easier to know
Yes.
what happened, but that wasn't by far the biggest crash. That was sort of a normal racing incident and happened.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
it was all right. Yeah.
they did need a safety car.
Yeah, it was a safety car for I think it was 2 laps or 3 laps. No, it was 5 laps.
Yeah, five lap. Well, yeah, I think I had lap 7. So yeah, like 5.
It was
6 laps.
restart was on laps 6, 7. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, 6, 7. Yeah, I mean, it was annoying for me to see that Vettel immediately, already not with a great qualifying.
I know.
Then
I thought it was out. I
went
thought it was
last.
out. Like when I saw
Yeah.
it, I thought it was out, but I was glad it was not
I mean,
out.
he did very well to avoid Sainz.
But
or there, but
unlucky! How unlucky! Like
Yeah,
oh
super
my
lucky.
God.
Like nowhere Vettel could have gone, and like we've said it before, Vettel at the start has been a bit too aggressive. The thing that Bottas doesn't have, Vettel has a bit too much of maybe, where he just makes a mistake. But the last couple of starts, he's been pretty good, keeping out of trouble. He knows that he won't win probably, so you just stay back. Nothing he could have done about that, and he actually was like last. I think last at the restart? Yeah, he must have been.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
or second
I
to
mean,
last
there
or
was
something like
Grosjean. Did Grosjean come in? I'm not sure, but he was probably
Yeah.
last. Yeah.
Yeah, but then we had the restart, and Bottas was leading the restart.
Yes.
Do you wanna try and walk us through what happened there?
I'll try.
I'll try.
Well, it's a very long straight, a pit straight at Mugello, so it's like a 1 kilometer straight. So what happened is like if you start accelerating too soon, then slipstream, and then you get passed super easily. Like you're not going anywhere, and everyone behind is gonna pass you. Well, we've seen it in F2 and F3 or over the weekend. It was like turn 1 was the place to overtake, and if you started to like push too soon, well, you're gonna get passed. So of course Bottas was gonna wait the last second to start to accelerate, and he was like going left and right and trying to put like hitting his tires. Was it really useful or not? I don't know, but he did it anyway. The thing is that it was like still 18 cars or something. So when you're in the back, you don't know really. Like you can't see that far away. Like you can't see Bottas all the way in the front, and you can't know what he's doing. The only thing see is the panels on the left and both sides of the track and in the front near the starting lights, and it turned green. So when it's green, often you start to press on the gas pedal, and pretty much like I think the last 4, maybe like the last 5 or 6 cars just started going and like went flat out. I think it was probably the first one was Giovinazzi, then it was Sainz, Grosjean, and Latifi. Something like that. They were all of them were like flat out. And then pretty much like as soon as Bottas started, at the same time in the back, Giovinazzi caught Magnussen, which was pretty much stopped because he was waiting for Bottas to go. So he caught him in the back. Latifi was on the side. He literally climbed on Latifi. Sainz was coming in like behind, and like I think it was a crazy. I mean, the onboards are crazy. Like if you see you see Latifi.
Oh my God.
You see Giovinazzi, like Latifi I think was behind. No, Latifi was the first one to catch Magnussen was Latifi. He avoided him, and then Giovinazzi just hit Magnussen super hard, climbed on Latifi, then Sainz had nowhere to go, and hit him again. And then I think Grosjean was the last one to make it and try to avoid the whole mess. But it was a big crash, like a scary one.
Yeah, it was a really big crash, and it was kind of weird to see because if you watch sort of the highlights, the camera obviously follows Bottas at the front, and he's sort of slowly weaving. And as he pulls away, if you look at the back, they already crashed at that point. Like he hasn't even accelerated.
I think it was pretty much the same time. The same second he starts to accelerate, the crash is already happening.
Yeah, and I think the issue there, I personally think it's not Bottas's fault.
No, it was not his fault at all. No, it was just doing.
No, yeah, exactly. I think so too. There is someone that I think might be at fault, which is quite interesting. Like I've had a little look at some of the other stuff as well. But really the issue, like you described, is that sort of they try and like get the jump on the other guy, but they're not allowed to overtake before the line anyway. So as soon as they cross the line, But still, like if the guy in front of you, puts his foot down, a split second before you, you're a couple of car lengths behind by the end of the straight.
Yeah.
So you're really trying to like sort of psych each other out, and like people were accelerating, decelerating. And there sort of is that sort of like accordion effect almost. And then just at the end, there just wasn't enough time for people to get out the way. And interesting enough, there's a video we can link to where they sort of analyze it a little bit, and it looks like George Russell is one of the guys who left just quite a big gap. So because he left quite a big gap coming out of the corner onto the straight, he tries to catch up and puts his foot down, which further down the line just feels like people are back to racing.
Yes.
And I think that's sort of what that was the issue, because he catches up with the pack, sees they're not racing, slows down, and people around him can just sort of avoid him. But as it further goes down, they just couldn't.
It was a big mess, really. Yeah, it was just a huge mess. Yeah,
what a mess! Yeah. What a mess! But it was spectacular to see.
Yeah.
And every racing driver is okay. Like everyone walked away. It was,
that was good to see, because it
seriously injured. So that's all good. But yeah, haven't seen that, I think, in a very long time.
Yeah.
Which then led us to...
Then there was a red flag, because it was like literally a sea of debris everywhere. And I think they were saying like 2 red flags in 2 races in a row is like never happened since like, I don't know, like decades ago. I don't know, but like a very, very long time. So
both in Italy, which I think is just kind of cool. It really adds to sort of the new circuit, and it's like an old track, which is sort of, they don't make them like that anymore. I just think it's kind of cool.
Yeah. But yeah, there was a red flag, so everyone was back in the pits, and we waited a couple of minutes before they cleaned all
some
the
people
cars out
like
and everything. So
some people climbed out and some people didn't. Are you allowed to change tires and fix cars as long as you don't replace certain components and replace them for new components, for example?
Yeah, I think it's just as long as it's the same parts and it's the same weight, you can change anything pretty much.
Yeah, then you're sort of allowed to do it, which I think is interesting. And also the changing tire thing, I think is kind of interesting, because I think that's... What do you think? I think that's kind of like... I wish they wouldn't do that. Like, if you have to fix the car because the car's about to break or whatever, maybe. But like changing tires...
I think it's like a free pit stop. The tire thing, I think it's I don't know. Now that we know it's like a fresh like grid start, like it's pretty much it's a new race for me almost. It feels like a new race, so it's just make the most of it, like find another way to make the strategy work,
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and it's trying to figure out what other people are doing, and then sort of.
It's all a luck thing anyway. Like if there's a safety car and you get it at the right time, you're gonna pit. So it's a free pit stop almost.
Yeah,
it's a bit like that, If you're unlucky and you just pit it, and next lap there's a safety car, then you literally wasted like 30 seconds. So it's a bit of the same thing, I think.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's true. Yeah, and unless you sort of take out changing tires during safety car and red flags. But fair enough. I think it's if you took that out, I think that would take away from the sort of the lucky ones like we had last weekend with Gasly.
Yeah.
Then we had the restart. I think it was lap 9.
I have lap 10 here, but probably.
Lap 10. Lap 10.
Lap 9.
Which Hamilton wins.
I love those the standing restarts. Like it's so cool. It's so cool. Like it feels like a new race. I love it. I think they should do it. If they should do it more often. It should be like halfway through the race, just like have like a finish. This guy won the first race, whatever, and just like mix a bit the pack and then just restart.
Yeah. I totally agree, 100%. Maybe we could do like half the points.
Ross Brown was saying that they were thinking about doing twice at Monza or something, and then there was an option to do it with a sprint like race with a. It was an option. That's what he was saying, and then he said that look what happened. Without us actually doing it, and he said like that's a good example of how cool it could be, and then maybe we could think about something like that for 2021.
Yeah, so definitely. Yeah. That sounds amazing. Like I totally agree.
Like a reverse grid would be reversal.
Yeah, reverse grid. And the standing restarts are amazing, because for me that's almost unfortunately, but like it's kind of the most exciting part of the race a lot of the times. Lights out, everyone goes, and they're all trying to pile up into the same corner.
I mean, they could almost do like a little bonus race or something,
Yeah.
Like take a free practice out. Like take the let's say like the Saturday morning free practice out of the program, and do like
Yeah.
a little maybe like a bonus. I don't know, reverse. I don't know how you would do that, but I don't know, something like maybe you do qualifying in the morning and like a reverse grid in the afternoon, just like a short sprint race, and you do like the actual race still on the Sunday or something, just to have like a
And you could get certain points for
less
certain
points,
things.
maybe like less points, but
Yeah.
still like something for everyone to get a chance, and that'd be cool to see.
Yeah, I definitely like anything that gets us more racing and more sort of race action and more starts. I'll be 100% down. But yeah, the restart was kind of interesting because Hamilton took Bottas like pretty much immediately, same way Bottas took Hamilton the first time around.
Not really, because he had an average start, but then he went straight like behind Bottas and then got the slipstream and went past
Did I
him.
get that? Did I get that wrong? Oops.
Yeah, I think you did.
Oh, okay. So sorry. That's what I had in mind. But again, like crazy race. I feel like I've written things down that might not quite be.
Yeah, it was literally like he was behind, and he got like he got a normal start and went straight like behind Bottas, like in his gearbox, and then just passed him on the outside of the fourth corner.
Right. Yeah.
A bad start again for Albon, because he had already a bad start at the start of the race. And then also, but Leclerc, amazing start with up to third.
Yeah, amazing start again. Yeah, so good.
Up to third. Sadly, he fell back so fast. Like he just was, hey, I'm P3. No.
Yeah, it was such a shame to like. I mean, they started racing, and for a couple of laps he was third. I think it lasted like maybe 5-6 laps or something like that, and then people started to overtake him again.
The scary thing is that he had pretty much the Williams pace.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
except
definitely.
in the corner,
yeah,
they were a bit better in the corners, but in the straight line they were nowhere.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much like they were pretty much the same level as the Alfa Romeo. So
Yeah.
not great.
That's just kind of sad to see. I mean, again, he sort of made the best out of his situation, which he has done, in the last couple of races. But if the car's not fast enough, the car's good. I also thought Ricciardo had really good race pace there. Like he, sort of not quite at the restart, but like a bit afterwards, he sort of was able to overtake and things like that.
Yeah, Ricciardo was good.
Yeah.
It was a solid race for him. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and I think Ocon was out by the restart because his brake were on fire. And
oh yes, yeah, that was kind of weird. Like,
was
he
it
was just
there?
sort
No, I
of-
think was it at the second? I think it was at the second restart. I can't remember. One or
I think
the
the
other.
first
It was he was out because his brake were on fire and there was like too much damage or something, and they couldn't fix it.
at the first restart you had actually Hamilton with smoking brakes. I think it was.
Oh yeah, it was
in,
insane.
P2.
Yeah.
Which like, but the commentators were like, "Oh, that's fine as long as they're not on fire. It's fine." Like, if they're smoking that heavily, like surely something must be like deteriorating or going away. So I don't really.
Something must be going on, yeah, for sure. For that much smoke to go.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, keep driving and it's fine. So yeah, I think for Hamilton it was quite good that they didn't need to sit any longer. Or there was an issue with the restart because his brakes were just so smoky, crazy. But yeah, it didn't seem to make a difference to him at all, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it
then
was a really was a shame for Leclerc to like be up that high and then just have no pace and people just slowly. I mean, the way I think Ricciardo overtook him was just like straight line speed and just easy.
Yeah,
like
like
it was
nothing,
There was no fight, no nothing. It was just like,
Yeah.
sad to see.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the tricky thing for this year with Ferrari. I mean, they're gonna struggle the whole year long. I mean, that's pretty much what's gonna happen. Really, there is no miracle apparently. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
they're not expecting any miracle until 2022. So there's a year and a half to wait. So it's gonna be tough.
Ugh, that is tough. But it's kind of good that they sort of have taken a bit of maybe the pressure out of it and trying to stabilize the team a little bit by saying that as well. It's like, we know we're not good, we're working on it. It's okay. It's not like
not pretending. They're not pretending that it's
Yeah, exactly. That they could win races or anything like that. They're aware. But yeah, it's sad to see, especially at the Thousands Grand Prix, for them to be so far back.
It was really cool
It's
to
not
see
good.
Mick Schumacher like driving his dad's car from his championship
Yeah.
2004, and it was
Like a
it was
V10.
so cool.
I think it had. Ah,
It was 2004. It was amazing, like the sound, and he was like, I think he was 10 seconds faster than his F2 car. He was just pushing straight away, like he climbed in the car and went
Yeah.
like flying.
that was really cool to see. Actually watching the Sky coverage as well. They did a nice tribute to Schumacher as well, and then seeing that, and then for his son to like jump in his car and sort of have a drive around. It was.
And there was
Yeah.
actual fans in at the track.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just true. We didn't even mention that. It was 2,500? No.
I don't
Not
know. I
that,
was
but-
surprised. Like during the race, I was like, oh wait, there's actual there's fans
But
there.
But it was good. Like it was nice to see. It wasn't full by any
Yeah.
stretch of the imagination, but it was nice to see people there again. It sort of gives you that feeling. And I think
The
for the
weird
drivers
thing
as
is
well.
like, why not in Monza and then why there? Maybe it's the region in the Tuscany was maybe easier on.
Yeah, it could be a regional thing with Corona. Like, and a lot of countries are sort of on regional lockdowns
Yeah.
or like alerts and things like that. But yeah, I hope we get to see more as the year progresses.
Yeah.
And I mean, we are going to Russia, who say they have a vaccine, so I'm not sure how that's going to work.
Let's see. Yeah, let's see.
We'll talk about that at the end of the.
I think
podcast.
the problem is like it's more about like the actual FIA and F1 regulation. I think they don't really care what country they go to. They make the rules. So I think even if
Yeah.
the country is like, oh, we can have spectators and fans, they're gonna be like, yeah, sure, but like you can bring them maybe in the stands, but they won't go anywhere close to the.
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
people.
Maybe something like that could be arranged where they're just. It's not like it used to be, but they're just on the stands away from the drivers because the risk is just too high for the drivers, especially with the schedule we have at the moment.
Yeah, there's no way there's no way you can take any risk for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but then it was quite a few, like I think 30 something laps before anything
Yeah,
major.
it was just a
happened.
normal race. Like they're just a normal race with people changing tires and things like that. And again, the whole grid was a bit out of whack because
A few overtakes because Leclerc was getting overtaken. That's pretty much.
Yeah.
pretty much all.
Then he was complaining about his tires and on the new tires. Then I think was he last with new tires or second to last behind Vettel somewhere?
Yeah, it was in the back for sure.
Yeah. So
And
that
Stroll was having a great race. I think it was third.
Yeah,
It was
really good to
just a
see as
very
well.
solid
for
race.
Stroll. Yeah.
And like a violent out. He got like lap 45 or something like that. I don't know. But it was like a
Yeah.
very
something
like
that.
surprising. This car, he had a puncture apparently, and the car just went out like on the out like on the
Yeah.
exit of a corner, just like
That was really crazy to see. Definitely no fault of his own. Like it just.
straight line
know,
to the barrier. That was hard. Like
Yeah.
the impact was heavy. Yeah, and the car was destroyed. And then they tried to when they recovered the car. Oh my God! The marshal destroyed the Racing Point. They destroyed it. I think it was a bit exaggerated. I think that the way they tried to save the car.
But it kept smoking though, didn't it? And they just like there was just more smoke and.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, sometimes also the extinguishers just produce a bit of smoke. I don't know. It was weird, but they kept on like he was smoking. He wasn't like on the truck, and then they like they put it down, and then there was a marshal with the extinguisher just putting the whole thing in the engine bay, and then he ripped apart of the.
He ripped the side, yeah.
He ripped the side part of the Racing Point, just like straight up open. He looked like the Alien movie, like the old like the inside of the car, like all white and stuff with fluid coming out, and just like through the extinguisher, I took another one, just put more inside of it. And there was like
Oh man.
there is Sergio set the camera with a reserve driver for Red Bull and AlphaTauri, and it showed like the screen they have on the pit wall, and then there's the onboard of Stroll's car when he was like being saved by the marshal, and he was like the onboard, like you could see the driver cockpit was like completely was like he's gonna take a lot of time to clean up. Man, he was completely filled with like extinguisher stuff. It was
Oh
my
man,
God.
yeah. I was thinking about that because there was I don't know when it was. I think it was a couple of years ago where there was some over eager marshals. Just somebody crashed. That's fine. The car's not on fire or anything, but they're just dumping fire extinguisher liquids or foam into the car, and the driver's like, "What are you doing? Stop!" Because it does damage. Well, as much damage as you can do to a
this
damaged
Racing
car.
Point is destroyed. Let's be
Yeah,
honest. I
absolutely.
mean, the amount of stuff they put in the engine. Then there's batteries in there. There's a lot of electrical stuff. That is not good for electrical stuff.
No. If there was anything they were hoping to salvage,
Also, like any spy
that's definitely
photographer
fun.
for other teams must be very happy because they usually open the car up for everyone to see. So
Yeah. That's true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I wonder how many people are analyzing the couple of seconds before you just see the open carcass and with the
just
engine base. Like, is that a Mercedes design? Is that what does that look like? Let's have a little look.
But he was
But yeah,
okay.
luckily-
he was good. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, luckily he was okay. He walked away. It was fine. Pretty big off, but second red flag. It was actually pretty similar to Monza. In the case that they needed to repair the barrier and things like that. So third red flag in 2 races, which is just crazy. Yeah, absolutely crazy. Again, another standing start. I think Hamilton was leading at that point, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, he was in front.
Yeah, Bottas got a slow start.
Yeah, he was like, people were thinking, oh, Bottas is gonna give it back to Hamilton the way he overtook him on the first restart.
Yeah,
that didn't happen. So it just and then Hamilton got a good start. Bottas got a very bad start. Got overtaken by Ricciardo straight away.
Yeah.
Albon got again a bad start, but he pulled off like a great move on Perez on the chicane.
Oh, around the outside, amazing. Just
like on the edge of the gravel, like it was like a centimeter of the gravel.
And that was like after. I mean, I would have rather had him have a good start, but that gave us a bit of action, like him having a bad start.
And he was on fire. He was on fire after that.
Yeah, he really wanted it, and like he was. He had a good enough car to get a P3 and get on the podium, which he really, really wanted. And we had Ricciardo on P3 for quite a long time after Bottas has taken his place back. And I was hoping that we get to see that tattoo and the bet and everything like that. Yeah, it wasn't meant to be.
At the same time, I don't like. I preferred like Albon getting the podium. Like I think Ricciardo definitely deserves the podium and stuff, but I think I don't know if Renault is much like the deserving team for. I think like they got lucky with like I don't know like these fast tracks with the engine, but I think the package overall is more like a. I think definitely the people that did a great job this year, like McLaren did a great job. Even AlphaTauri had a good job, but I think there was like the Williams also did good. But I think Renault is more like as soon as it's gonna go out of the power tracks, like look at. Where was it? Was it Spa where they were like nowhere? No. I forgot. There was a track where they were like almost like 14th and 15th. There was like nowhere because there was a bit of coldness.
That was really weird to see. I think we were expecting them to be good at that track, and they just
it's just surprising. Like sometimes I don't know if they really figured out the car yet, and I think it could have been a lucky like podium for them for sure.
Yeah. I think it was more personal sort of because Ricciardo is like such a joker and. Sort of for his career and things like that, it would have been nice for him to be on the podium again. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think Albon, with all the pressure and everything, and like being Max's teammate.
I mean, he needed it. Like it would have been fun for to see Ricciardo and stuff, and to get to do a shoe and everything. But at the same time, it's like Albon needed it. Like he would have been finished 4th on like 13 cars or 12 cars, whatever. That would have been tough for his future for sure.
Yeah.
Because like he was definitely the third fastest car for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So anything less than that would have been a huge disappointment for like him and Red Bull.
Yeah, but he didn't disappoint this time, which is good.
He did good.
He got his podium, which is really nice for him. Was it the first? I'm not sure because he's racing for Thailand, as far as I'm aware. He's a Thai driver.
Yeah, he has a Thai license.
Yeah. I think it was. I'm not sure. I think it was one of the first, or like a first in a very long time, like a podium for.
It probably was the first. I don't know.
I think they said it was the first. Let's go with that. After I've been wrong a couple of times today.
Yes.
But yeah, so that was really good to see, and hopefully he could sort of keep that up, and it gives him a bit of motivation and just confidence.
Yeah.
Because I think he is a really good driver, but I think if he's lacking that bit of confidence.
Yeah.
With Max Verstappen on the other side of the garage, I can totally understand that. Yeah.
I mean, it's just a tricky thing. I mean, it's like, no one really knows what's happening with him and the whole situation. But I think, hopefully that gives him a little boost.
Yeah.
I think, like, Gasly didn't get this boost. He got it, like, when he was dropped, and then he managed to get a podium after. But he didn't get this little chance to feel like he deserved to be there and feel like he actually belonged on the podium.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were kind of eager for him to.
And it's
I don't know, to
surprising
be
that
swapped.
you think that Gasly was dropped and then he got 2 podiums while the guy that replaced him got 0.
Yeah,
He got literally a
It's-
second place and a win before Albon got a third place, which is insane.
Yeah. Oh,
again,
absolutely,
bad
yeah.
luck from Albon, but still, I mean that's a funny thing. So it would have been bad for Albon if he didn't get the podium. Which at the
Yeah,
beginning of the
yeah.
race, when Max was out, I was like, if he doesn't get the podium, it's gonna be bad. And I'm very
Yeah.
very happy he got it because like for him, for everything, like for his career, it's just a good thing.
For sure. It was kind of interesting. There was a commentary actually from Vettel on, because we were just talking about the restarts, and I definitely like the standing restarts. I like 100%. They're
Yeah.
awesome. But Vettel was saying because during the race there's a racing line, and then there's all the sort of the marble, all the rubber that comes off people's cars. It's on the other side. So if you start on the grid, you have a clean side and a dirty side. So really, it's sort of a bit of a lottery to like who gets a good start and who doesn't. Just based on that position, which I thought was quite interesting. What do you reckon to that?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I think there's a lot of also like support races, so I think it was that big of a difference. I mean, it's not like he was the first. Like the first start was the first time anyone was driving on the racetrack. They drive already like 3 free practice, the qualifying, and then apart from that, there's like F2, F3. Sometimes there's like Porsche or like other support races. So there's a lot of tire already left everywhere, and there's like already like a dirty line and a good racing line. So I don't think it made that much of a difference. I think it's already like the difference is already made from like it's pretty much a new start. Whatever, it's just a standing start.
Yeah, I think you can get unlucky.
For sure.
It could be
for sure.
bit of a larger amount, but really, I think I agree with you. I think from all the positions, all the races and stuff.
Yeah, and
I mean,
we've seen that Hamilton was able to pass Bottas from second, and Bottas wasn't. I don't think it was because of any kind of tire or dirty lane or whatever.
no, yeah,
So-
I totally agree with that. Yeah, I definitely want to see more of them. And
Yeah, for
I
sure.
hope we will. With the couple more races to come. Is there anything else that you want to say to the?
What
sum
I say? Well, Hamilton just. I mean, these guys. I mean, it's sometimes for people it's frustrating and stuff, and so again him, but the guy is just so good. Like he's just the man. I mean, no one is at this level right now. Like maybe Max, but even Max is not lucky and stuff. But for sure, like Bottas had a good start and all this, but I still don't think he's a championship contender. Like I like the guy and everything, but sadly I don't think he is. Not this year, and I'm not sure unless it changes his way of racing and stuff. I don't think he's gonna be one. Which maybe that's what Mercedes wants. I mean, they sure. I think like a percentage of the team probably like is like that's a good thing because there's no rivalry or no unhealthy. Maybe it's gonna be unhealthy at some point because it's gonna feel like a bit annoying to be the number 2. Even though there is no official number 2, he's definitely number 2, and he's kind of the safety net for the team. Like if Lewis messes up or the team messes up Lewis' strategy or something happened with Lewis, he's there to save the team. But he is not fighting Lewis in any way. I think the only way he passed him in this race was because Lewis did a mistake.
Yeah.
That's the only way he passed him, and he was not challenging him at all for the entire year of the rest. Like anyway, like he was. I think the closest he got was like he didn't even get once in the RS range, not even once. Like as soon as it was like 1.2, 1.3, Lewis just started opening the gap again, and like regulated
I think it
his
was
distance.
Yeah, it was very calculated. I think it was one of those. At the end, they were trying to get fastest lap and things like that. So there was a lot of backing off and then going for it again.
And you could see like Lewis like just backing off, and he was getting closer, and Lewis just pushed, got the fastest lap, and was already like 4.5 seconds away from Bottas.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. Like it's a lot of time to get.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think at the end he ended up like 4.8 seconds in front of Bottas at the finish. So that's a lot.
Yeah, I was surprised by how big the gap got at the end.
Yeah.
And there, but yeah, like 100% agree. Hamilton's performance, and I think he had another record that I can't recite. Like he was even with Schumacher. I think it was on amount of races in the points, and then he just, obviously he won this race, so he's now ahead of him there as well. So
I mean, he could get. He probably get like his 100th pole this season. Like he's probably gonna pass it over. Like at least get it.
Is that the last record he still needs to break? Is it the pole?
I don't know what's the last record he needs to break. I'm not sure. I think
I don't know if they make up records sometimes as well. I feel like they
poles he got it. I think like pole position. I think he already got it a few races ago. But
right,
100 would be nice. To have like 100 poles. That
would be nice. And it doesn't look like he's slowing down or like stopping anytime soon. And then he's definitely back for next season. I mean, it'd be silly not to almost. With again stable regulations and everything like that, so you can expect him to be at the front, and there'll be more records he's gonna break. Which is
I mean, he's literally like he has 190 points and Bottas is 135. And to be fair, like I'm not even sure Bottas will finish second. Like if Max gets stopped with the being unlucky and stuff. And
that's true. I think reliability
for the rest, he could finish second.
I think this weekend I feel like Max could have challenged Bottas. With a couple of those,
true
starts and things like that. It's just really unlucky for Max that he wasn't part of the race at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's actually a thing I just saw that I wrote down because we always talk about or talk a lot about the Ferrari mechanics, right, and the engineers.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of radio messages that Vettel had with his engineer. One was sort of on the like not so good side, and then the other one was like a bit of a light-hearted one. The first one was. His mechanic told him to go into a mode that didn't exist, but it wasn't quite so bad. It was like close to what he said. We'll link that down below, which is quite interesting. It was like, there we go again. The frustration. Then the second one was actually they finished the race. Vettel got P10, and he stopped the car and everything. And then he's like, guys, so we're doing another restart now. Or is that it? Is that? So Vettel was clearly like still in a kind of a happy, positive mood to finish the race, and it's nice to see a bit of banter that you don't hear sometimes on the radio. Yeah.
And there was another strategy little call with Leclerc, like, we're thinking of strategy plan C. What do you think? Like, we have nothing to lose, man. We're so slow. Just make up your mind.
There we go. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, that's the classic
Ferrari strategies. And they're like, what do you think we're gonna do? C, B? I don't know. Just
just roll the dice, mate. I don't know. Well,
just start with one and we'll do the other after.
Tell me, we'll do 2 and maybe we'll do 3 and 4. We'll see.
Yeah, do a long stint, but at the same time do a short one, and then
really push for it, but preserve your tires.
Yes. But go to the end.
But go, all to the end. Right, shall we talk about the next race?
I have just a little, 3 little things. I think it was, 2, sorry.
Sure.
It was, Norris Radios. It started on Friday,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This guy is the best. Like, that's why I love the new generation in the Formula 1. It brings such a cool, like, fun and, like, relaxed and just a cool entertainment. Like, when it was locked down with the simulators and the live stream, and then now it's like there's always a little thing that they do, and it's always so entertaining and funny. That's so cool, and I can't wait for him and Ricciardo to be in the same team. Him and Sainz were cool, but Sainz is still like a bit more conservative, I think, than Ricciardo. Ricciardo is definitely a bigger jokester than Sainz.
It's just going to be the joke team, which is going to be quite interesting.
Both of them is going to be super interesting to see. Yeah.
I mean, jokes on and off the track a little bit, but definitely still both hard racers. So there's.
You still see them like when they do interviews, like one tries to come behind the other, and it's like it's so funny. So
yeah, I really like that. I kind of missed that for a lot of years, where it was sort of really serious and
a bit too serious. I think for sure.
Yeah, a little bit lightheartedness. It's nice that the teams let them do sort of their own thing. A little bit in that regard, they're not sort of.
I think sometimes it's a bit. I think just taking it a bit more normal, like it doesn't need to be like that, corporate almost. I mean, like, don't say stuff, like don't say opinion, don't speak, like don't make jokes. It's a bit like.
We'll talk after the race in the garage where no one can listen.
Yeah, it's like who cares? Like people are gonna make their opinion anyway, so
Yeah, and I think the fans love it as well, like including us and other people. Like you see it
Yeah.
everywhere. Like I got so many views that his radio message on Friday, which is really funny. We'll link it down below for anyone to check it out.
And Grosjean also, his radio message when there was the crash just in front of him. He got quite scared, I'd say, which definitely, I mean, I would have gotten scared also. I mean, it was definitely a scary thing happening just in front of him.
It's just crazy, yeah, if you see like cars moving out in your way and then suddenly there's just a wall of other cars and like...
and you can also think like, you know, when you see stuff like that happening and you have kids and stuff and you're like a family and like, you know, you kind of, you know, think about what you're doing and you're like, oh, should I be in this car, you know, like...
Yeah. That's a very deep question, maybe for another podcast, to the risks and everything included with Formula One.
Yeah.
But yeah, luckily, you know, nobody got
it was
seriously injured.
Ended up being good, yeah. Let's go for the next race.
Yeah. In
Russia. Yes.
Sochi. I don't know. Russian accent's still not good. I'm still waiting for the German Grand Prix to properly get my German out. I mean, I'm a bit sad.
Why?
Because we have to wait 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I like. You know what I get like on weekends when there's no Formula One. I don't leave the house. I barely get out of bed. You know, I forget to. You know, I don't shave and shower. It's a mess.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm still looking forward to it.
Yeah, really fun.
I actually quite like the Russian Grand Prix. I think last year was quite an interesting race. Had a lot of I had Ferrari and Mercedes battle for the win. That one happened this time around. But I hope that Red Bull might be in there and sort of, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Let's hope that
can do something like that. Yeah, what do you reckon? What do you think of Sochi?
It's like it's a very like all people love it or they hate it. There's a lot of hate to like the Sochi track. It doesn't create often the most entertaining like overtakes and stuff. I guess we will see this year. Like if it's really bad, we'll quickly see if it's actually bad. You know.
Yeah.
I think it's alright. It's not. I don't think it's the best looking track or the most entertaining track, but it's alright. Like the layout is kind of cool.
I can see that.
I know if I play the F1 game, I think it's a cool track to go around. So.
It doesn't quite have the charm that Mugello had.
For sure, or like any old school Grand Prix.
Do you know what I mean? And people love Mugello, and I hope we get to see it back and in some way, shape, or form. You know, like maybe not every year or every season, but
it feels almost like a Formula E track.
Yeah,
like you know, with the concrete barriers and stuff, it just doesn't feel that cool. But
I don't know. I'm still I don't know. Maybe some of the races that were on there and they were just quite interesting, but I am looking forward to it.
What's your prediction?
I was gonna say, what are your predictions?
I got you first. You say your qualifying predictions.
I'm gonna go conservative, man. I've let myself out of the window and I just got hit by a tree. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna say Hamilton. So this for qualifying: Hamilton, Bottas, and Verstappen. Okay. The trio on top. What do you think?
There's a lot of funny memes with replacing Harry Potter, like Harry. Hermione and Ron with Lewis, Bottas and Verstappen, and it's like it's always you three when something happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do I think? I would say I would put a little thing on Red Bull. I just hope they can fight a bit more, even more like somehow in qualifying. So I'll put like I still think Lewis is with the car and Lewis, like the two of them together is just. It's too good, so I'll say Lewis, Verstappen, and Bottas. Okay. Even though Bottas is super good at in Russia.
Yeah.
So it could be like a Bottas, Verstappen, Hamilton, but whatever. Let's just stay like that.
You wanna change your mind?
You know what? Let's do that. Let's do. But then no, I'm fine because I don't see Verstappen in front of Hamilton, so it's fine.
Okay. What do you think to Ferrari's performance in Sochi last year? They were great.
It's probably gonna be average. I'd say Q2 though, so I would say Leclerc. I'd say Leclerc like 11th, and well, that's good though. Yeah, let's say 11, and then Vettel like 13.
Okay, that sounds good. I think they're not going to be quite that good. I think 12th for Leclerc, and 15th for Vettel.
What did you say? 4th for Leclerc?
No, sorry, 12th for Leclerc and 15th for Vettel.
I was like,
Yeah,
whoa.
Sorry. Yeah, Leclerc. Yeah, crazy Q3 session again. Something happens, and no. But it's just, I don't know. I don't really want to see that. Like, I don't really want to see Leclerc at the front just so that everyone can overtake him. It's kind of, I don't know. What do you think to the race?
Okay, that's an interesting one.
Any red flags this time around? Do you reckon people are gonna,
I don't
try not to?
I maybe one. I mean, it's already like it's there's not a lot of a run. It's like if you go out, you hit the barrier pretty much straight away.
Yeah, there's a lot of concrete barriers and
there has been like
tire walls.
there has been a lot of like big accidents, and like there was Sainz, that got a big one a few years ago.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see what one. Oh, okay, they're calling it. I was checking the next race. What was the race afterwards? And it's the Großer Preis der Eifel. I don't know. I was like,
Eifel Grand Prix. That's what it says here.
That's a weird name.
Anyway. Just weird the Nürburgring. Like, I mean, come on, like the country doesn't matter.
Why is it not the German Grand Prix? That is very weird. Anyway, so okay, what I would say, I'm gonna say Lewis is gonna. I mean, Bottas is gonna finish first.
Okay, interesting.
Just because, well, why not? Let's bring some.
He's strong at
He's strong in Russia often. So let's hope for him that he can get some confidence and win. Verstappen second. Even though it is whatever, and Hamilton third.
Okay.
Oh no, I have better. Just because who cares anyway? I'll just say Albon third, and then. Maybe like, I don't know, or a DNF for Hamilton, or like a fourth place or whatever.
DNF for Hamilton.
Just because I see him coming back super strong in Germany and winning it by like 10 kilometers.
By like lapping everyone,
yes,
except himself.
Maybe himself too,
including himself. He's that good.
He's that good.
Think about that, everyone. I'm gonna stick with my boring Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen. I think the top three are going to be boring, but I think the midfield and the sort of mid to end field, including Ferrari, is going to be
Renault is
quite interesting.
Be an integration point. Like, I think McLaren is going to be the one to watch.
Yeah, I think so.
Because there's no big straight lines,
definitely.
so Renault is going to be whatever, I think.
Yeah.
But McLaren could have a really strong finish, like a really strong race, like maybe like a 4th and 5th, something like that.
Yeah, that'd be really good to see as well. So that's really the race I'm looking forward to, which is kind of a shame, but we talked about this so many times.
Yeah.
2022 is when things are hopefully going to change to the.
And for Ferrari, what do you have for Ferrari?
What did I say? 12th or 15th?
Yes.
I'm going to say 9th for Leclerc. He gets into the points.
Okay.
Good guy. 11th for Vettel, just out of the points.
Okay. I would say the opposite then.
The opposite. So 9th for Vettel.
Yeah.
And 11th for Leclerc.
Yes.
Cool.
Just so
we'll see. I think next time we come back to this podcast, I'll go through the old ones and put our stats up, and we'll see who got how many right.
It's gonna be bad. Yeah. I mean, I don't really do it to be good, to be right. I just do it because I just hope to see something. And
yeah, and it's a weird one. But the last two races were so impossible to sort of predict.
And there's like big differences between tracks, so it's very tricky.
Yeah, huge differences, and the way the season is sort of shaping up. I hope that more people are going to be a bit more relaxed, to have a bit more time off.
And also, like we're gonna go to Russia, which is a known track, but then it's literally 3 new tracks after that.
Yeah, I was going to say after that it gets quite.
4 new tracks. Sorry, 4.
Quite a bit more intense. Yeah.
It's Nürburgring, Portimao in Portugal. Then, if I'm not wrong, it's gonna be Imola.
Got America here, but
It's Imola.
Was it Imola? Yeah, that can't be right. Yeah.
It's the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And it's Turkey. We're gonna come back to Turkey.
Sorry. The schedule.
They already went there with this, so they have some data, but it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then there's gonna be Bahrain, and then Bahrain again with a very interesting layout, and then Abu Dhabi.
And Abu Dhabi, which
it's gonna be. I mean, I think Renault could have a really strong race in Bahrain. The second week in Bahrain.
Do you reckon? Yeah.
Well, they have the engine for it. I think Ferrari is gonna be at lap 6 times, at least.
To be honest, the racetrack, the second Bahrain just looks like almost like an oval or something, doesn't it? Like,
so I believe that Ferrari. I don't know if it was.
Straight
I think they should just stay there and like have a little week off and come back for the last race.
It's just like, just looking at it now, like it's crazy. But that's not going to be until December.
Yes, we have time. We have
a lot of things could change until December.
Stuff, a lot of exciting stuff.
Yeah, but definitely looking forward to it. We'll definitely cover it in our little podcast. Thanks for talking to me, Matt. It was fun.
Thank you.
It was great.
It was very cool. Yeah. Thanks for watching and listening, everyone, and we'll see you soon for a new episode.
Exactly. See you guys soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.